Hello, everybody. Welcome, 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 welcome. We want to welcome you to the Art of Songwriting. And we're just going to get started here in a moment. We're going to have a couple of people joining us on the chat room. So if you're getting into the room, please let us know you're there. Just say hello. Let us know where you are coming in from. Let us know what state or what city, what country, if you're visiting us in the room from another location. But I want to welcome everyone tonight. Thank you so much for being with us. We are week seven of this incredible time in history. Like no one had any idea that we would be under a pandemic, and so here we are. But hopefully everybody is doing well. Oh, okay, I see some people in the room. Hello, Bailey, is it Bailey? And Christopher. Hello, Bailey and Christopher, welcome with us. Welcome in the room. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. We hope that you're well. And for everyone that is with us and is going to join us tonight, we pray that you and your families are safe, that you're well. I know so many people have had a difficult time, have known people that probably have passed away, and we just hope that if you've been one of those people that have been touched very closely by this situation, that you would find strength, that you would find hope, and that you'd be able to just continue to live the legacy of the people that were in your life, your family members or your friends. So thank you for being with us. Philadelphia in the room, wow, okay. So I just wanna invite you all to just join with us on a conversation that we're gonna have. Everybody that is here, hello Jayla, how are you? Everybody that is here tonight, you're here for a reason, and so I just want to thank you for being here. And in a few moments, I'm going to turn it over. Hello, Denasia. How are you, girl? Denasia is one of our panelists from our last event, and so I'm so happy to see her here. Oh, we have Montreal, Canada in the room. Welcome. And Lisa from Germany. Welcome, welcome. It must be pretty late over by where you are in Germany, but thank you so much for hanging out with us. We're so appreciative of you guys being here. I am going to be very excited to introduce to you our featured guest, Robbin Marx. He is joining us from New York City, and I'll give a little bit of an intro about him in just a moment, but just to give you guys an idea of what we're doing tonight, we're just gonna have a conversation. We're gonna be around an hour or so. We could go a little longer, but you know, we don't wanna take up too much of everybody's time because we understand people are on Zoom calls all day long. I know I am. And so for a Friday night, we just are so glad that you're here with us. But yeah, we're gonna have a conversation, and you guys are welcome to use the chat room to ask your questions. If you hear something that we're saying and you wanna talk a little bit more about it, just put it in the chat room, we'll see it, and we'll stop and address whatever it is that you would like to know more about. About me, my name is Maria Rivera-Jones. I am the founder of Second Generation Music. I'm a vocal coach. I also am a songwriter, and one of my favorite quarantine hobbies has become Voicey. I know, Denasia, I know you use Voicey too. So it's a fun app that I'm so glad is there, because for me, it allows me to create melodies, to challenge myself in lyrics. And so I love using it. So that's one of the fun things I use. And if you guys have anything that you are also doing now that you weren't doing before, throw it in the chat room. Yes, it's addicting. I know. I haven't done any voices this week, but yeah, I plan on doing some next week for sure. Um, so welcome again. And for those that are going to watch us on the replay, thank you for spending that time with us. I thought we would talk tonight a little bit about preparation because as many of you guys know, nobody saw what we're facing coming. Nobody saw it coming. I mean, it is something that just came out of nowhere. And, you know, I don't know if you feel the same way, but I thought once this thing was in China, it was in China, and I never thought it would come to our country, and it sure came. And so it's something that really has impacted the entire world. And what I've been thinking about this week is that preparation is so important because this thing came out of nowhere, and here we are today, 7 weeks into it. Everybody is at home globally. Everything has changed globally. The way we interact, the way we do business is different. And so I felt like it would be important to address how we prepare for situations. Some companies have completely shut down and people are out of business. Companies out of business, people are out of jobs. And you know, it's really sad. It's really sad that it's this day and time we're seeing that and we're experiencing that. And then there are other companies that are doing really well. Now, for me personally, I work for a top global firm, financial firm in the world. And so I'm still working, thankfully. I thank God for that. Our company had done a lot of work beforehand when this whole COVID thing started. They began to prepare for it back in January. And so in March, we were able to quickly jump in and have an entire workforce of over 250,000 people work from home. And so to me, that speaks of being prepared and not getting caught off guard. But many people today are not working. They're unemployed. And we know that eventually they'll get their jobs back, but you know, it's they're facing hard times and difficulties. And so what do? You have to get creative and you have to do different things. So I thought that tonight we could talk a little bit about how you can prepare as an artist and become better prepared to face how you're gonna live outside of COVID. Because you know, the world is changing and we're gonna be a little bit different when we come out of this. How are we preparing? How are we using this time to prepare for what we are gonna be like in, I don't know, 6 weeks, 7 more weeks to come. So yeah, with that, I am gonna just, I'm gonna throw a poll in here. And I just wanna see in the room, let us know what stage you are in your musical journey. So if you don't mind, just take a few minutes and fill out that poll. Let us know where you are in your musical journey. And I am very thrilled. All right, here we go. We're getting some responses right away. Awesome. All right, so I see that 67% of you doing some singing and performing, not on stage, 70%. 27% of you creating beats, doing music production. 64% of you writing songs, that's awesome. And 45% of you are still learning about the music business. Awesome, fantastic. Thank you for letting us know. So a little bit across the board. So I'm really thrilled to introduce to you Robbin Marx. He is let me just end the poll, all right. He is a music producer based in New York City. He is an artist, he's a rapper, he's a business coach, he is a devoted husband and father. So welcome, Robbin. I met Robbin recently, right? We just recently met. He and I were both attending a webinar and we just kind of met through that. So welcome, Robbin.
Always be networking, always be networking.
Yes.
ABN.
One way to be prepared, right?
Yep.
So,
thank you, Maria.
You're welcome, welcome. Tell us what made you want to be an artist? How did you get started in music?
Oh, thank you so much. First of all, Maria, I just want to take time to give you some roses and thank you so much for organizing this event and this entire series. I think this is an amazing opportunity during this time for creators to get together and exchange information, thoughts. So thank you for hosting this, and thank you to everyone in the room. I see my man Chris Mays is in the building. That's my boy. We work on a lot of different projects together. So I'm just really excited about being here. So in terms of my start, when I was 9 years old, I was hanging out with one of my friends at a sleepover, and there was a music video getting shot in the backyard of this building. So I looked out the window and I could see like people doing the dances, the hip hop dances from the late 80s. And it was Big Daddy Kane and Biz Markie. And from that point on, I was like, yo, who are these guys? What do they do? And what were those lights? And I just became fascinated by hip hop. Shortly after that, I picked up a pen and a piece of paper, and I started writing rhymes. One of my old rhymes is like, my name is Robbie D, and the place to be in a party, or the girl is just looking at me. Like, that was like old school 1980s hip hop. This is me at 9 years old, really short, socks pulled up to my knees, skinny kid. And that's how I got introduced to hip hop and started writing. Fast forward to high school, I went to my first concert. I must have been 16 years old, and they snuck me into the club and got me into a Wu-Tang show. This is 1993. Wu-Tang Clan was on their first.
Snuck you into the club? Oh my.
Yeah, snuck into the club at 16 years old with one of my guys. I'm on the side of the stage, literally like 10 feet from the Wu-Tang Clan on their first ever club tour. So it's like a small club, maybe 400 or 500 people squeezing up in there. And that was my first live experience. On the way home, I freestyled in the car, and the rest was history. I was like the local rapper. And, I wanted to, when my when my high school classmates were applying for colleges, I was like sending my demo tape to record labels, you know what I mean? So I was like going on the back of tapes, getting the addresses. My father was like, you got to go to the Navy, or you got to go to school. Like, you can't be a rapper. And I'm like, no, I'm going to be a rapper. Trust me. And after high school, I went to community college for a little bit of time. And then I ended up, getting a refund for my grant. So when I got that money in my hand, I was like, $800. Like, I'm out of here. I'm about to go join the Wu-Tang. And I'm like,
Wow.
so I took this $800, $900. One of my dear friends, his name is Darren Cooks. His brother's name is Blue. And Blue lived in Staten Island, where the Wu-Tang was from. And I went to go live with Blue and Darren in Staten Island. Blue's roommate was Capadonna, who was a member of the Wu-Tang Clan. So I kind of, at 17 years old, fulfilled my dream of like connecting with the Wu-Tang. And I like sat at a table and wrote rhymes with Capadonna. He coached me on rapping. And from there, speaking honestly, I made some poor decisions and had to like kind of just pack it up and leave there before I ended up in prison or in a coffin. So I left Staten Island, and I kind of started my adult life. And from there, I started releasing music in 2000 with a company called End of the Week. I released my first album called Demographics. After that, I decided to take our event and our open mic to other countries. And at the time, I faced resistance from my team. They're like, how are you going to do that? What do you mean? I said, I don't know how we're going to do it, but we're going to do it. So I took a one-way ticket with a box of CDs of my first album, a bag of clothes, and we took a first-class flight to London, and that kind of started End of the Week International. Today, End of the Week is in over 13 countries. I helped to launch the UK chapter, the German chapter, as well as the Spanish chapter, the Netherlands chapter, French chapter, and now we're in China, we're in Australia, and I'm really proud of the work that I did there. But as time progressed, I had a child. My first son was born. And after that, I had to kind of build a more, stable life. So I pursued a career in youth development. I moved up a chain at one of the biggest nonprofit organizations in the country. I'm a senior director at that organization now, but there was something missing. And I had an urge and a craving to like create. So I picked up beat making about 4 years ago. And at first I was just kind of doing it for myself, not really sharing my stuff with the world, because many times rappers there's a negative stigma around rappers who turn producers, like, oh, he couldn't hack it as a rapper, so now he's making beats, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't want to like share my stuff, people, so I was a little insecure. And then I shared it with my brother, who is a DJ. He's DJ'd for the late great Sean Price. He's DJ'd for Rhyme Fest. He's been on tour with A Tribe Called Quest and Lupe Fiasco. So my brother is like an official creator and DJ. He makes beats and he DJs. And he told me they're dope. And when I got that confidence from him, or that kind of, you know, validation from him, I had the confidence to share it with more. And from there, I just kind of reached out to people, and it like launched my production career. So that's how I got into music. I hope it wasn't too long.
No, that is awesome. And we're seeing in the comments, Denasia is saying, amazing. Definitely would like to connect with you. Now, Denasia is a phenomenal singer, and you need to hear her sing. And also in Zoom is Ronnie Kens. And so Ronnie was also on our panel discussion last month. So thank you, Ronnie, for hanging out with us in the room. She wrote the hook for a #1 R&B hit. What was it? Can you put the name of it in the chat so we all know the name of your song? But she wrote a #1 hit for Billboard that went on Billboard, and so we're just so happy. Donnell Jones song, that's right, Donnell Jones song.
Nice.
So yeah, you know what's up. That's right.
You know what's up. I know that one.
So that was Ronnie. Ronnie did that. She did the hook of that.
Nice.
Jayla saying, love the first rhyme Robbin came up with. Fun. Yes.
Old school.
So you went around the world.
Yeah, I did. You know,
so
that's one thing. I feel really blessed that I've had some of the opportunities that I had.
And so at that time, like, what was the scene in those, like, outside of the country? Because here, like in New York, you know that's what people are listening to. But so how did you get to connect with those other locations and find the hip hop scene there?
No, that's a really great question. For me, you know, a lot of it was just exploration, man. The funny thing is, my first city that I landed in was London. And, you know, this is probably 2002, maybe 2002, 2003. It's my first time out of the country, or at least to Europe, you know. And like, I get off the plane and I get some money exchanged, like probably $300-400. I'm like, yeah, let me get an exchange. I need some, you know, pounds. And they gave me back like, you know, half of what I gave them. They gave me like 200 pounds to my, you know, 500, 400, or 500. And I remember being like, no, I think you made a mistake. I gave you 500. And they're like, no, it's an exchange rate. So all of that kind of stuff I had to learn, including finding like hip hop hubs. At the time in London, there was a scene around a record store called Deal Real. And I think about it now, and it's like, I don't even believe that I was there. So I get to London. I had 2 shows booked through a promoter that me and my friend Zone met in New York. He said, I got you 2 shows. So we had those shows booked. But from there, we just kind of did our investigations and our exploration. And I remember doing shows in the Real with Estelle from American Boy. Like, before she was a singer, she was like a rapper. And she was like in this like grimy little record store with us. I don't know if some of your listeners know, your viewers know Foreign Beggars, which is a really big UK hip hop and like, you know, kind of dance group. And they were like underground MCs in this place. You know, Skinny Man, just so many different UK Task Force, all of these like underground and also like now mainstream artists were in this little melting pot that this random American was in. So I went there, met up with Deal Real, a guy named Tony and a guy named Vince. They own the store and they were like, yeah, we can set up your thing. And we did our first international MC challenge right there. From that, I think that the waves of End of the Week started to grow, and I started to like just naturally and organically contact started coming to us. So my brother Sammy Jack, he's like our French, he was our French ambassador for a long time. He came to New York, met us, and then when he found out I was in the UK, he was like, yo, you need to come to Paris. So then my next step was kind of Paris, and it just kind of happened organically.
It's all about who you know, right?
Absolutely.
And so Ronnie is saying, I love her voice. So I think she meant Estelle, right? Ronnie?
Mm.
So thank you. Yes, yes. Okay. So in talking about preparation, so I recently read that, you guys know the song, I'm sorry, the show called Songland that's on TV right now. And they were talking about one of the featured songwriters, a young girl who is on the show, but so she she couldn't make it in the first round. I guess the first season she didn't quite make it to be on it, but she like had her heart set to be on the show. And so when season 2 was announced, she immediately began to submit all of the songs that she had written. She submitted to the show, and so now they picked her, and so she's going to be featured this week on the show, and she's going to pitch a song to Martina McBride. So in talking about preparation and how to be prepared for an opportunity that gets presented to you, right? You have to be prepared. What would you recommend to us for now in this season that we're in? How should we be using our time wisely? Because when we come out of COVID, it's going to be a different world. So how can we be preparing right now so that those opportunities that present to us are, well, we take advantage of those opportunities.
Yeah, shout out to that young lady who worked hard and got that opportunity. I think to piggyback off of her, strategy, I think an important thing for me that I'm, sharing with the people in my network, as well as the people that I'm coaching and that I'm practicing myself, is just having, hyper focus and consistency. I believe in this time. This is in my lifetime, and I'm sure in everyone's lifetime, actually, unless you were here, back in the early 1900s, that this is the first time in our lifetime that we've all had the same problem. Like it's a universal problem. Everybody on the face of this earth, in one way or another, is dealing with this. I listened to a sermon recently, and the preacher said that somebody told him we're all in the same boat. In all actuality, he said, we're not all in the same boat. We're in the same storm, but different people have different boats. Some people have aircraft carriers, and they're good. Other people are in rowboats, right? So it just kind of shows the contrast between where people are. So for me as a creator, and what I'm encouraging you guys to do is, like I said earlier, is to be consistent, but also try to look at it as, an opportunity to reset. So yes, this is mad real. I lost one of my dearest friends. His name is Jason Williams. He's one of the founders of End of the Week, actually. He died a couple weeks ago, and our whole community is brokenhearted. So I can't discount the severity of what's happening, right? However, we're here now, right? We're all on this webinar. We're gonna leave this webinar. We're gonna take action. I would say this is an opportunity to reset and also use this stumbling block as a stepping stone to kind of what good can come from this? Where's the silver lining in this? And I know that's hard to kind of stomach, especially if you got furloughed or laid off from your job, you know what I'm saying? And I know that's a real situation for people out there. So I want to be sensitive to that. However, I don't want people feeling like having that victim mentality, you know what I mean? Because if we do that, then we're going to just kind of slide down a negative, pit. And I believe that if people look for the opportunities in this, that we can really thrive. And when we get to the other side of it, we'll be better off than we were before it started.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, great advice. And, one thing you said is to be hyper focused, and you're right. There's a balance that we also have to have too, because you can be absorbing right now. Like every day there's either an IG live or there's a webinar that pops up on my screen, and I feel like I need to attend all of them because it's all good stuff. But then, we have to also give room for creativity, because you can't just be absorbing and not have that opportunity to create. So I love what you just said about being.
Let me piggyback off of that, Maria, because I'm glad you said that. So this is something, again, most of the people in here have maybe faced similar challenges. And what I tell people all the time is like, I'm not out here trying to, you know, portray myself as an expert at anything. What I am is a person who has 20 years of experience doing this, and I want to share everything that I've learned and everything that I'm learning. So for that situation of like the, you know, just like almost like the analysis paralysis, or like the or taking in so much information and knowledge, and like also the scarcity of it. Oh my God, that webinar is not, there's not going to be a replay for it. I have to be there at 11 a.m. to do that thing, right? And I want to say to you, Maria, and also to your viewers, is that you know what the priorities are in your life. So creativity and action, the act of creating, is a whole thing. However, what I'm trying to do is encourage people to look at their creativity and the beautiful pieces of art that they put into the world as a part of the things that they're learning too. So once we start to kind of like silo things, like, okay, so I'm learning how to be a coach, and I'm learning how to be a producer, and I'm learning how to be a rapper, like whatever your buckets are. Once we kind of like silo them out, it can kind of blur, the lines can get blurred sometimes. I would rather we intentionally create an umbrella over all of it, where I'm just Robbin, and Robbin just happens to be a Christian. Robbin just happens to be a dad. Robbin just happens to be a producer. And like, turn off the cool. You know, I think that when we're like, like for me, like I'm like you, we met in one of these webinars, right? And I remember, like, it was yesterday, I was like, yo, I'm gonna like kind of step outside of the box, and I'm gonna like drop my information and see if anybody wants to connect. And you know what? Connecting with you is probably the most valuable point of me attending that webinar, you know. And I believe that we need to like do the education, but we shouldn't like guilt ourselves for just doing the education, or like guilt ourselves for only being in the studio. At that time, your requirements for your journey might be different, and it changes. However, I do believe in time management. I think that time management in this era of COVID is important for us to not lose sight, because you don't want, what I call it is my juggling act, right? I'm a dad, I'm a student, I have a job, like, right? But I don't want to have one ball that's so big that it makes me drop the other ones, right? So I think finding balance is key, but I wouldn't discount the things that we want to do and that you need to do for your career.
Awesome. Yes. Okay. And Jayla says in the chat room, yes.
Yes.
Said. Okay. So I want to talk a little bit now about being, so we talked about being prepared for opportunities. Now, you were so blessed to have one of your songs that I know, because I knew this song when I saw your post on it, and I was like, oh my God, like you did this song. So I knew I had to connect with you. But I want you to just play a little snippet of this song. This song got placed, your music got placed into this with this artist. And I want you to play a little bit for our guests here and talk about it as well.
Sure. So you want me to play it first and then do a little talk afterwards?
Yeah, play it first.
Okay, great.
Yeah, and then let us know also, like, when you know, what you were doing to prepare so that this opportunity just kind of, you were ready for that opportunity when it came to you.
It's telling me that only the host can share content.
Okay, so give me a second. I have to give you permission, so I apologize.
No, it's okay.
All right, I think you can share.
Oh, good. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. All right, and I'm gonna play this song. Can you hear it? Can you guys hear
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
All right. We back?
Right, yeah.
All right.
So talk to us about that song. Now, I love Wande. I mean, I listen to her on the station all day long. So yes,
Yeah.
go talk to
So
us about how you got to do that.
no, thank you for asking. First of all, I want to give a big shout out to my man DATIN. Today, his album dropped, CHH Ain't Dead, Volume 1, where that song is featured on that album. The song is called We Fight, featuring 1K Few and WANDE. So DATIN's album is out right now. So if you guys want to, you can check it out on Spotify, or if you want to, you can actually support it on iTunes. The last time I checked, it was number 8 on iTunes. I think Drake was number 6. So it's like, it's making a big statement for Christian hip hop. So I'm really excited about that. How I got connected for that song, me and DATIN go way back. Actually, funny thing is, the first international MC challenge for the end of the week, DATIN was actually a performer in it. And we flew him from New York to Spain to perform. It was us doing the end of the week MC challenge. MOP was there, Beatnuts was there, and Estelle was there. We were backstage, and Estelle was like, "Is that you?" And I was like, "Yeah," And this is again when she was a rapper. She wasn't singing yet. But long story short, when I started reaching out to producers to get my music, placed, I started out by reaching out to the rappers that I knew through being a rapper and being an MC through my network. So I reached out to a lot of people. A lot of them are actually, artists who do really well for themselves. And I got some replies. They were like, "Yeah, you can, it's all right. Send me something else." And then somebody would be like, "Yeah, you're almost there. Like, send me something else." And after a while, I was like, "God, like, really? Okay." So I started reaching out to people online and, reaching out to people who were strangers, and kind of like picked up some steam doing that, but still it was kind of a struggle. And then the moment that I put like a price tag on it, it kind of took off and people started buying the beats. So then I started getting placements. So when I sent out that first round of emails to like the people I know, I also reached out to DATIN. When I reached out to DATIN, it was a little different because he had just dropped his album Roar, which, had that song Hallelujah All Day. And I remember just being like, yo, I don't believe that this brother is doing Christian music now. And that is so hard. I was like, it's like the message is clear and the values are there. But the fact that it was a good record that wasn't, I think sometimes like Christian hip hop, especially in the secular world, can have like kind of that like, it's like soft connotation, like, yeah, so it's just Christian hip hop. Well, when I heard DATIN spitting those bars, I was like, he's an elite lyricist, but he has a message. And it was really impressive to me. So I just reached out and was like, "Yo, bro, I know it's been a while. Just want to check on you and let you know I'm really proud of you." And just like shouted him out and gave him his roses. I think that's something we don't do often.
Right.
As MDs and producers and just creators, taking the time to tell people like, "Listen, I love you, I appreciate you, and what you're doing is inspiring me." And we just got in contact from there. So in that round, I sent him some beats, and from the first time I sent DATIN some beats, he was picking beats. I didn't know that a couple years later he would use 2 of them on his new album. But as he kind of finalized his tracks and he knew what he was going to rock with, he looped me in, and we had like a spiritual discussion because he wasn't really aware that I was a man of faith and I was a believer, because we came from like this hardcore hip hop scene, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when that happened, I think our relationship just blossomed. And he thank God for him, because he introduced me to the Christian hip hop community, and my introduction to the hip hop community was a song featuring 2, really great artists, and WANDE and 1K Few, and of course a legendary MC, DATIN.
Yeah, awesome. So some of the comments, Jayla says, "Wow, so good." Margie says, "What an awesome message." Ronnie said, "Pretty hot." Thank you, Ronnie.
Thank you, Roddy.
Bailey, I hope I'm saying your name right, Bailey. She says, "I like that, dope." And Nick Neal said that was good. So yeah, I mean, it just speaks to your talent and your creativity, and also your relentless pursuit of building relationships, right? Because without those relationships, you can just be there creating beats all day long, but if you're not going out and connecting with people and finding where it fits, right, then it stays in your room. So that's awesome. So you guys, we want you guys to go on iTunes and let's make that song hit #1 on iTunes.
Yeah.
Someone wants to know, are you affiliated with anyone who does voiceover work?
Me?
Yes.
I have some people on LinkedIn that I've connected with, but I don't have any business relationships with anyone that does any voiceover work.
Okay. All right. So the song is "We Fight," right? So
Yes.
for
We
everybody,
Fight Color Purple.
"We Fight Color Purple." So we want you guys to go on iTunes, Spotify, wherever it is that you're listening to music. Please download the song.
Yep.
All right.
And if you can, get the album, because, especially
Yeah.
if you support Christian hip hop, like this album is doing really well today. And if, we get people to keep promoting it, and supporting it, it looks like it's going to make history.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So this week, actually, Billboard, every week they put out the Hot 100 songs or whatever. And so they had the top 100 songwriters and top 100 hot producers. And of course, DaBaby was on it, featured as one of the top 100s because he's had a #1 song on there for 7 weeks. And then he also has 14 other songs that are being featured where he co-wrote, as well as Oz, which is a producer. He works with Drake, for those of you guys that don't know. And so he's on there for two production credits. So now that, like, in terms of, we're still talking about preparation, people are out there creating amazing amounts of music, right? There's so much music available, and there's such a wide range for mass exposure and going viral. Now, the song that Drake and the 2C Slide, I don't know if you guys know that song. I'm sure you guys know because it was featured all over TikTok. And I heard that they actually released it on TikTok first because they wanted people to hear the song before, start people dancing to it, talking about it and stuff like that. And that's how it became #1. So, we have artists are doing like incredibly, I would say, just very unique things to put their music out there. You have TikTok, you have all these apps, Voicey and all of that, so that you can go viral and have mass exposure. As a producer, when you're creating beats, what are you thinking about that? Are you thinking about, wow, this song can blow up? Like, are you thinking about, should I protect myself so I can make sure that my name stays on this beat and it just doesn't go where, like, do you think about those things as you're creating?
Honestly, no. No disrespect to anyone that does. It's just that, when I was like sending demo tapes to the record labels when I was in high school, I was thinking about that kind of stuff. And even in my 20s, when I was like going hard pursuing my, rap career, we got featured on MTV and BET. Like, I was doing ciphers and stuff. Like, I was on it like that. Now, as a dad and also, as a producer, I would say bigger than that, as a coach, I'm thinking more about the big picture and the long game. So, like, yes, going viral could be very beneficial to my business. However, it doesn't influence my creation. My creations, it's like me getting a cup of tea. It's me like dimming the lights a little bit, me scrolling through sounds, or if I'm doing a customized beat for one of my, artists, then I'm like listening to the things that they want me to bring to life, listening to reference tracks and getting inspired. Or I'm doing stuff like just kind of like hanging out with my kids and like looking at them and getting inspired. So like going viral is not a part of my creative process. But again, no disrespect to anyone that draws inspiration from that. It's just not, the way I create.
Right. And it's also like not authentic, right? Because if you're just creating to get viral, to have your creativity be viral, then it's not authentic. You may not have long lasting effects from that. So yeah, like we
I
should.
don't know if I don't know if I agree with that, Maria. I think that it really depends on the creator, because you know the creator might be, my mission is to be viral, and my authenticity is drawn from me wanting that thing. So you know, I do believe there are people out there who are not authentic, and it's like just a gimmick, and I get that, and I agree with you with that. But I know that there's like a 16-year-old kid in the Netherlands who like dreams of being a rapper, and like the way they know they can get on is going viral, and that's their target and goal. So for me, what I'm, especially with my community, like I don't preach like vanity metrics and like having the most followers and that kind of thing. I know for a fact that you can have 500 to 1,000 followers and make thousands of dollars a month. You know what I mean? And it's not from me just assuming, it's me from knowing through practice that if you do certain things, you can bring that to life. So for me, like I agree with you, like some of those people out there definitely like not authentic, but I know there are a few of them where that's their authenticity. It's like, I want to be a voicey star. I want to be a TikTok star, and that's okay too.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, Ronnie is asking, are you just focusing on Christian hip hop, or are you open to doing other genres?
That's a great question. And you know what, Ronnie, I get that all the time. So for me, I work with all artists. You know, I do customized exclusive beats. That's kind of like my premier offering. But I also do beat packs. So what beat packs are, like beat leases, where you'll get a bunch of beats for a more affordable price, but that music can be sold to many different people. So everyone who buys it has the right to use it, and I still have ownership, obviously, over any copyrights for the song. And actually, I dropped the beat pack today. It's called "It's a Trap," and we'll make sure that Maria sends out the link to you guys. But yes, I'm working with people from all different genres. It just feels like, funny thing is, a really good friend of mine, with Jason passing away, like I said, I'm having all of these connections with really old friends, and it's really, you know, it's just warming my heart, some of the conversations I'm having. And one of my guys was like, yo, so why Christian hip hop? And I told him straight up, I was like, brother, like I didn't choose Christian hip hop. Christian hip hop chose me. Like if it was God's plan for me to do Christian hip hop, I'm not about to like, you know, disagree with that. So yes, I work with other genres, but I'm definitely an advocate for the Christian hip hop community.
Awesome, thank you for that. So let's did a segue us into talking about how you work with artists. So tell us a little bit about your process of working with artists. I know you mentioned to me that you've already been doing online work. Like all the rest of us are just catching up on doing things virtually, but you've been doing this for a while. So tell us a little bit about how you've been working with artists, how you create your beats, like get them out to people. Just talk a little bit about that.
Yep. So yeah, like I said, just last year I launched my business. So my business is really new. I've been making beats for 4 years, doing music for 20, but being like an online business only started in July of 2019. And it began the first day someone paid me for a beat, right? So before that, I was like asking people, hey man, you want to get on my beats? I got some beats for free. You don't have to pay. And they're like, nah, I'm good. And I flipped it like, hey, I got some beats. You want to buy them? Yeah. And from there, it just kind of skyrocketed in July. And I think
let me just stop you for a second. Why do you think, what was that mind shift in people that?
I think it's value. I think once you price that, it's like this. So here's 2 examples. So like one person, you know, has a book and he's in the street, and he's trying to give it to people. Here, can you take the book? You live in New Jersey, so I'm sure you come to the city a lot. People are probably like, oh, like, excuse me, like, I'm in a rush, right? Then the next person is like in a store, a bookstore, and he's sitting at a desk with all of his books out, and he's like, hey, I have a book. I'll check it out. How much does it cost? And once you attach a dollar sign or attach some like, you know, monetary value to a product or a service, it just changes people's approach. So every person is not going to buy it, but the person that will connect with you because they believe that your product or your service has value because you know, put a price value to it.
Yes. Okay. And Boswell is in the room. Boswell is my business partner. What's
Hey,
up, Boz? How you
hey
doing?
boss.
So yeah, and he's saying anything comes easy is not worth paying for. Whenever people pay for things, they value it more. So yeah, just
Absolutely.
exactly what you said. So okay, continue to let us know about how
Yeah.
you
So
how you've been working online and all that.
July kicked off, and then the beat started selling. And at the time, I was only selling customized exclusive. Like I said before, it's my premier option. No one else can use the beat. It's a beat for you. And then after doing that for a little while and having some mild success, I was like, well, I want to do more. I want to like learn more. And I kind of went down the rabbit hole and learned a whole bunch of stuff, namely about sales funnels and how we could use it for music as well. And I saw online a gentleman's name is Gabe from a company called Legion Beats, and they're like the first online beat sellers to generate $1 million in revenue. And I was like, I gotta know that guy. I want to learn from that guy. So I studied all of their little videos online, and I built my own funnel. I put some money into Instagram and Facebook marketing, built my email list really fast, and didn't see as many conversions as I would have liked. At the time, I was doing direct marketing, direct DM messaging on Instagram, and that's how I was generating most of my revenue. So I would email a producer and be like, hey, a rapper, and be like, hey, I really like that song you did. It's really dope, man. Keep doing your thing. Then they respond back to me. Oh my God, thank you for checking out my stuff. And I only have 50 followers. Like, wow, that's crazy. How'd you find me? Oh, I just found you through a hashtag search. You got a lot of talent. Thank you so much, man. I see you make beats. Yeah, I make beats. How do I get one? So it wasn't me like, hey, buy my beats. If you guys check your DM right now, somebody's trying to sell you something. The first message is like, hey, listen, go check out my single. It's there. Buy it. Take it, take it, take it. Go there now. And I've learned that, the best way to approach your first engagement with the potential client or lead is to just show them gratitude, give them roses, and be sincere though. Like you said, we don't want people to like not be authentic. Like go to a page that you might actually be interested in connecting with them, check out their stuff, don't spam people, and then the traction will begin. So from there, I kind of like learned from them online and built my funnel, but I didn't get enough conversions. So then I stumbled onto their masterclass. And when I took their masterclass, it kind of just like blew my mind, right? So now I'm learning exactly what they did step by step to like generate millions of dollars through online sales. And that's one thing that I'll encourage all of you guys to do is just invest in yourself. Anybody watching the replay, anybody in the room, like it's okay to spend money on yourself to improve yourself on whatever level that is. So instead of me trying to like hack the system and do some like makeshift version of a funnel, with a free MailChimp account and like, sending them to my beat store and all of this kind of crazy stuff, I actually learned from the masters and got mentors, and they coached me up. And that's what kind of helped me to get onto the online space. And since then, I've seen that part of my business grow. The direct marketing for the custom exclusives, I still do that. And then in January, a record label reached out to me, somebody that I sold beats to. They was like, hey, like, would you like come work for us? And I was like, what does that look like? He was like, no, like maybe as a consultant. Like, do you do consulting? I was like, no, but I'll try. So I whipped up like a proposal for them, sent them. They was like, oh my God, this is great. And it just kind of started from there. So again, like I didn't ask to do it. Like God kind of just put it on my plate. It was like, hey, you have 20 years of experience. Why are you not sharing that and teaching people? So my online business is really 3 components. It's like beat packs where people can buy a bunch of beats at an affordable price, usually 27 to about $50. They can get a bunch of beats. Second, they can get custom exclusive, which is about $300 a beat, and that's just for them. No one else is going to use it. And then I have my coaching business.
That's awesome. And I hope that for those of you that are on watching us that are producers and you're just starting to produce, that this is really helpful for you, because if there's anything that COVID has taught us is that we must be prepared, right? Because many people, oh, Ronnie is saying, please share your business website. Yeah, and we'll share that too. And I
Yeah.
will share, I'm going to follow up with everyone with an email, and we'll put all of Robbin's information in there. So we'll share all of that. Jayla is saying, love how real this journey is, actual facts and realistic methods. Margie is saying, can you repeat?
Can I repeat what? So back when I was 9 years old. No, I'm joking.
I think maybe the salesman, and I'm gonna let Robbin talk a little bit about his coaching business, because yes, like, you know, we all need coaches, we need mentors in our lives. And what I was trying to say is that, like, we've learned, for those of us that maybe have like a job, like I have a job, and so I work for an employer, and music is what I've been doing on the side, basically. But you know, my goal is to eventually just do music. But if I was fully dependent just on my job and they close down, then what am I going to do, right? We all need to have other forms of revenue, other revenue streams that are coming to us, so that in times like this again, and I pray that we never ever have to go through something like this again, that we're not dependent on just that one source, because that one source, that one stream can dry up. But if you have multiple streams of revenue and you're finding ways to take your talent, your ability, your creativity, and sharing that with the world and making money off of that, then you're going to be okay in times of trouble. Am I right? Or
Absolutely, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Well said.
So tell us a little bit about your coaching business, because you've been doing this now, and you're helping other people generate revenue. So how do you do that? What does that look like?
It's really simple. Like I said earlier, I don't stand on on a pedestal and pretend that I'm an expert at anything, right? I kind of meet people where they are, let them know that, I have a ton of experience, and everything that I've learned, everything that I'm currently learning, and everything that I've experienced is theirs. And I think what kind of separates me from other coaches is that I don't require that people pay me to get the basic service. So the basic service is like, hey, you want my number? Like, you can text me. Like, I have an open, at this moment, I haven't scaled my business to the point where it is annoying or anything that if I get a lot of text, and I actually like it and it keeps me engaged. So the first thing that I think separates me from a lot of coaches is that I'm like available for free. I meet with people every week on my Instagram Live. I've been doing this since the quarantine started, pretty much like 6 weeks, every Wednesday, faithfully, 10 p.m. And I'm offering value based on, Instagram engagement. If Chris is still here, we did a whole virtual voicey project where he sponsored a contest, and the winners got a free, online group coaching session. So just, being real with people and not being like, oh yeah, would you like to spend time with me? That'll be $2,000. Like, it's not about that. Like, so like, yes, I do have a fee if we are going to have a more formal business relationship where there are like action items, there's like a plan, but I don't make people promises. I just let them know that the methods that I practice, I'll share with them step by step, play by play, and they've proven effective for me. If they put in the work, I firmly believe that it will be effective for them. So I have a few clients right now. Things have been picking up, honestly, since this, pandemic broke out. I want to shout out my man, Burning Drums, who is actually the drummer for WANDE. He's a Grammy Award-winning drummer, and he reached out to me, and he's like my newest client, and I'm really excited about working with him. Also, I want to shout out Sean Greenstreet, which is a Christian hip-hop artist from California, who's also one of my latest clients. And we're just grinding. I teach them everything I know, and if we have people who have questions right now, I'd love to answer some. I'm an open book.
Yeah, you guys take advantage, because he's here now, he's live. Okay, Christopher wrote, the Voicey contest led me into relationship with 3 indie artists, 2 of which I've coached this week. Awesome. That is all. I missed that because I've been on Voicey. Not this week though, but I've been on Voicey. I love it. So yeah, for those of you that use it, Go
So
ahead.
let me jump in, and I have one little ninja tip, and this is something that I've used and it's been really effective for me. So what I always teach people or encourage them to do, you know, more than anything, is to like pick their platform. And that's like a common thing in the space, especially for like people who are doing online businesses. So like find a platform that works for you and really like dig into it, master it, and then kind of grow and do something else. Oftentimes we feel as if we have to do everything. So, okay, I got to launch my YouTube page, don't forget my Instagram page, and gotta have my Facebook. And I need to be professional, so I need to get my LinkedIn, and don't forget my Twitter, because you know, and it's just like a mess, right? Especially if you're new, right? And I know a lot of that stuff is connected, right? So you could like literally drop a message on Instagram, and it'll go to your Facebook, it'll go to your Twitter, it'll go to your Tumblr, and that's fine. You can optimize your life. I'm down for that too. However, especially if you're like new or you're trying to grow. Some people out there have had a journey, and now they're like rebranding, relaunching, reinvigorating their mission or their quest, right? And for me, what I'm doing with Voicey, and this is my ninja tip for today, so if you want to jot it down, you can.
Write it down, y'all. Write it down.
Pick your platform, right? Pick 3 platforms. So whatever one you're the strongest in, what I call it is like your local bar. So like Cheers, right? So you know in Cheers, everybody knows your name. Like, hey, what's up, Dan? Hey, Bill. Like that place is the focal point of your triangle. So that's the top of the triangle, right? So I call it the triangle offense. So just like basketball. So my home is Instagram. I feel the most comfortable on Instagram. I feel like I have the most engagement on Instagram. And also I believe the platform is very friendly to creators, as well as, you know, just musicians, artists, producers. My ideal customers hang out there. So you pick your main one, work that, and then you get your next 2. Voicey, if you don't have this 2 and 3 yet, so if you have your triangle, but you haven't filled it in and you're looking to fill it in, I believe for singers and I believe for producers, Voicey could be that. I'm like almost 100% committed to this concept, but basically this is what you do. So you pick the other 2 platforms. So mine is Instagram, one is Voicey, the other one is LinkedIn. My heart gets so warm when I talk about LinkedIn, because I believe it's underutilized, and I believe if people really understood the ways that you could create engagement with people, it will blow your mind. That's a whole nother webinar. Anyway,
We'll have
so
to follow up on that. Yes, for sure.
LinkedIn is my boo. It's like, you know, like I got Instagram is my main boo, but like, oh my God, LinkedIn is like, oh. So anyway, so you get these other 2 you know, platforms. And what you do is you send them to your main platform. So what happens often is, because we're not thinking about optimizing our process, like I want to sell people or offer people or connect with people in terms of monetary transactions. I want that to like really start on Instagram. That's where I want that conversation to start, because I have most of my value there. That's where you can see like my pictures with, you know, in the studio. You can see the songs that I did. You can also like see me in the studio behind the scenes. You can also see replays of some of my instructional videos and coaching videos and stuff, like inspirational messages. So you could put it all on every platform, or you could think about taking those people that you meet on LinkedIn and bringing them to Instagram. So this is like a sample of one of my email scripts, or one of my like intro message scripts. So I tried to include someone to my network. I invited them to my network. They responded, you know, I accept. I respond to them, hey, thank you so much for accepting me into your network. I see that you blank, 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 blank. Always look at their page and actually say something that's personalized. Oftentimes people are like, yeah, thanks, go follow my thing. I'm on YouTube, here. Don't send any links, don't ask them for anything, don't offer them anything. Just say, hey, here are your roses. I really love what you're doing. That song that you had was dope. I like that line where you say this. And they're gonna be like, who is this person? What? Hey, thank you so much for the compliment. Oh my God, you know, how'd you find me? Whatever it is. I just found you through a hip hop search, but I'm more active on Instagram. Is it okay? Ask permission. Is it okay if we communicate there? What's your handle? They might reply, I'm not on Instagram, but if they do, If they are on Instagram, they will give you their handle. And then once you connect there, you already warmed them up. So they're not a cold lead anymore. It's not like that stranger. It's somebody that, hey, we had 2 or 3 messages now. We're kind of cool now. You bought me a drink. You got me a coffee. Now you came over to my crib, right? Mm-hmm. So now once you're in my crib, I go right into the spiel. Hey, by the way, did I give you my free B pack yet? Like, no, you didn't give me my free. Where's my free B pack? And then I send them the free B pack. Now that I have their email address, they're in my funnel. And the same thing for Voicey. Voicey is a little different because I'm a producer, so I'm not singing and like putting that kind of stuff. What I'm doing is every person who sings on one of my beats, I go to their song and I like it or I comment on it. And then from there, they're like, oh, thank you so much. Like, you watched it. I only have 25 followers. Like, wow, and 3 likes. You like it? And you're the producer? I'm like, yeah, what's your IG? This is my IG. And oftentimes, many of them, the IG handle is the same as the Voicey handle. So you can just take the handle and be like, oh, was that you on Voicey? This is your video. I'm sharing it on my stories. And then now they're like, oh, my God. And then once they inbox you in your DM, then it's like, hey, here's the thing that I'm doing. So that's my ninja trick for today.
Listen, y'all just got a masterclass right there. I hope that some of you guys caught that. If you did not catch it, take the replay. I'm gonna send out the replay. Go back and listen to it, because this is how you build network and you connect with people, and you're doing it in a way that is genuine. And it like Robbin said, you're not just telling people, oh, go listen to my song or listen to my beat. You're actually connecting with people, and you never know what those connections bring. So,
and it feels better, Maria. It just, like, because this is someone like I know from trial and error. So like, if you ask me in like even in October, November last year, I do a lot of cold emailing. Like, I have a whole cold emailing strategy to generate traffic to my funnels. And like, my scripts were like really bad. My scripts were like, hey man, found you online. I wanted to give you some free beats. Here goes my free beat pack. And every producer who took the training that I took, which is probably about 800, 900 people, are doing the same thing, the same script. So I tweaked my script. My script, like I said earlier, this is the first time in the history of our lifetime that we've had the same problem as everyone. So I opened with the problem. Hey, found you online. I just wanted to see if you and your family are good. Things are crazy in New York. Where are you based? And people are like, who is this person? Why are they emailing me? I'm going to respond because I want to know. Or they're like, oh my God, like, he's a creator too. Let me look him up. He's real. He cares, And I'm not coming from a place of like insincerity. I'm being very sincere. I do care about everyone on this planet. Now, if I do it with a automated system, it doesn't discount, where I'm coming from. Like, I'm still coming from a real place. Those are still my words. And once they respond, then we have a real human interaction. It's not the computer sending out my message, but creating messages that are sensitive to the times is important, because people are out here acting like there's not a whole global pandemic going on. Like, we have to address that before we go into any kind of business.
Right. Absolutely. I just launched a quick poll, just to kind of see where people are, what kinds of things they're looking for. And if there's something in there that you're not looking for and you just want to put in the comments, feel free to do that. Let me just go back.
And I wrote down, I don't know what time is because I can't see the time, Maria, but I do
have
time.
We're on overtime, but that's
okay. So I got some important tips. I got some more value. I have written down, and I had a post that I just did about this. So I'd love to share with the room if that's okay.
Yeah, please do. Please do.
So quickly, this is a post on my Instagram. You can go back and see it, but you can jot down notes if you want to. But one thing that I want people to know is that if you did get laid off from a job, or if you got furloughed, or if you just have a little extra time on your hands, right? Maybe you're working remotely and your 8-10-hour workday is now condensed into 4 hours. You get it all done. Then you got a whole another 6 hours to work with. there are some ideas of ways that you can generate some revenue through your music that I just want to share with you. So during this lockdown, you can think about creating a resource and selling that resource. So you could like create a PDF that's like, hey, here's the top 10 vocal tips for singers. Here's the top 5 tips for, you know, voicey, you know, whatever the thing that you're into, and just whip something up. Throw a price tag on it and just throw it out there and see if it catches. If it does catch, then you can grow it. Let's build it out to a book. Let's build it out to a manual or a guide. So that's the first thing, like creating a resource. The second thing is selling merch. Chris Mays is in the room. He's really going hard with this, and I got mad respect, and I'm gonna follow his lead on this. This is something that I'm trying to grow into, but it's something that's really easy in 2020 to start an online business. You don't have to like send the stuff from your house. There are companies like Teespring and Printful that will actually like, you know, manufacture all of your products and ship them out and take a percentage. All you have to do is design them and create the store. So that's number 2. And the last thing is something that I don't think the hip hop community and the urban music community is doing. They're doing this in the folk world. They're doing this in the country music world. Like they're doing this in the rock world. They're not doing this in the hip hop world. I know we got some singers in the room. I don't got it to do this, but I'm gonna encourage you guys to do this. Run live streams and set up a tip jar. Now, how does that look? You promote to your audience, hey, listen, doing a live concert. I know a lot of you guys are going through it. I want to do some songs for you. Why don't you send me some messages and let me know what you want me to sing about? I'm gonna write a song for you. Like, what do you want me to sing about? I'm gonna write the song and I'm gonna sing it live for y'all. Please show up. You promote it, just like a concert. They show up. But instead of being like, hey, you got to pay to get into it, which could just create a funky vibe during this time, right? Because you want to meet people where they are. We don't know, like I said earlier, we're in different boats, right? Somebody's got an aircraft carrier, somebody's got a speedboat, somebody's got a rowboat. For the person in the rowboat, they might not have money. So you make it an optional, you know, kind of donation structure. And you could say like, suggested donation, $20, but don't come as you are. You don't have to pay anything. And let them know, like, I don't want your money. I just want you here, but I'm trying to also build something up. And all you do is put a link to your PayPal, put a link to your Cash App, and you do your show. Those are my 3 little nuggets before we get out of here.
I'm telling you, y'all, this turned into a masterclass in how to make money as an artist. And wow. That was good. Wait, hold on. Jayla wrote, I just saw something Jayla said, that this was dropping gems. You dropping gems. I don't know. Yeah, and let's see what else is in here. What are the 2 places you're using for merch again?
Right now, I'm not actively doing merch. I would talk to Chris Mays. He's in the group, but I would recommend Teespring or Printful. But I think Teespring is what I'm going to go with. And that's me taking my man Chris Mays' lead on that. So my store is not set up, but it's something that I plan to launch during this quarantine.
Chris, if you wouldn't mind just sharing your handle in the group chat. So if anybody wants to connect with you, they can. I did see a question here from someone asking about songwriting on Instagram. That's something that I am going to connect with Ronnie on. So Ronnie, you and I need to connect because we are going to work on something for the audience and for those that, so yeah. So I'm not going to elaborate right now, but you guys follow us and we will be posting something shortly about doing some songwriting sessions. A lot of people are doing collaboration online. I think, in the beginning was a little rocky because Zoom just doesn't have the great audio quality that you would like, but it's still getting done. People are writing music and they're writing it and releasing it really, really quickly. So yeah, for those of you that are interested in doing more songwriting, just let me know and I will follow up with you on that. Let's see, what else? Bailey said Canva, she uses Canva. Yeah, I use Canva too. Canva is amazing. The free version of it is good. I've switched to the paid version just because they have some graphics that are really, really cool for that. Let's see. Yeah, such really great responses here.
And Maria, just one more thing.
Yeah.
Me and Chris kind of organically started a nice little Instagram thread, the one that I invited you to. So
Yeah.
anybody who's in this group today, if they're open to it, I'd love to invite them all to this Instagram thread. It's just a really great place for us to exchange information, tips, resources. Chris does these amazing Instagram live videos just about every morning. It's just a really awesome little community we're building. So if they send you their handle and you send it to me, I can invite everyone tonight.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna do that. If you signed up on Zoom, then we have your email address. I will make sure that we get your information over to Robbin. You definitely, this is how, you know, we're supporting each other. We're all looking to find ways to find our way in the world. And so this is a great way to network with one another, learn from one another. Yeah, so let me just see. Yeah. Hayden Thornhill says I'm in.
Yes, and let's make sure only if they want to be in. I don't want to like bring people in there like, why I'm in this group. So if
yeah.
people want to come to be a part of that Instagram group chat, it's really awesome. Like it's been super fun, and it all started from us doing that virtual voicey competition. Those winners are all in there with me and Chris, and people are we're just adding people who we believe that will bring value. And from, you know, just working with you, Maria, over the last week or two, I can tell that your community is amazing, and we'd love to just include you guys.
Awesome. Yeah. So we're going to take advantage of that. We will. So thank you for that and that invitation. So we are a little bit on overtime, you guys, and I do appreciate for everyone that has stuck around. Thank you for the great comments that you've given. I had a ton more of questions for Robbin, but you know what? This is not going to be the first time that we're going to have him, because he is so just full of information, full of experience, full of great connections, and there's so much more that he can share. And we want to make sure that we bring information and content that is going to be helpful to you, helpful to who you are as an artist, and what you need to do to prepare when you come out of this. Like, we are all looking to make sure that we're fully prepared, right? We're not just sitting here watching webinar after webinar, but that we're taking this information and we're turning it into something that is touchable, tangible, so that we can, you know, just share the creativity that God has given us all with the world. So thank you all for being here. Any final comments that you have, Robbin, for our panel, not our panelists, our guests that are here? Any final
you know, I just want to say, you know, to everyone, just, you know, be safe, stay healthy, you know, take care of your family, and, you know, make sure that you guys are letting the people that you love know that you love them. I believe that in this time, so I haven't lived in a time where my phone went off so many times saying that somebody's grandpa died, somebody's aunt died, somebody's sister's sick, and it's just been a constant, you know, just, you know, avalanche of tragedy, you know. So I want to just say, for you guys out there, I know that we're all on different levels of what's happening in our life, but I want you guys to really just hold on to the people that you love and let them know that you love them, and give people their roses. And Maria, I want to give you your roses and let you know you're an amazing woman. I really appreciate this opportunity, and I look forward to connecting with the people who are interested in joining our group.
Awesome. So we're going to follow up with you guys on email. So watch out for our emails, be on the lookout. We thank you, we bless you. Have a good evening. Be safe. May your families be safe. May your families be well. And our next Art of Songwriting is Friday, June 5th at 7:30. So just be on the lookout for that. God bless you guys.
Take care, Maria. God bless.
Good night.
You want me to stay on?
No, I'm going to touch base with you separately.
Okay, cool. Take care.
Bye-bye.